It
There was a whole
plays good in
song.
the film. It definitely plays.
Oh yeah,
great,
yeah.
you know.
No, but I guess look, it is what it is.
as,
but
they, as they say.
but the good thing about that was that I went to the I don't know what it was. It was a cast and crew screening. It was some kind of premiere. It must have been. It couldn't have been just cast and crew because Paul Giamatti was. Well, he's in the cast. So, but I mean, Harvey Picar was.
Oh wow, cool.
It was a whole event where they had down by the Chelsea Piers, all the food that like Harvey Picar like hot dogs, jelly beans. I don't even remember
All the
donuts.
stuff that he likes.
I don't know. Yeah, it was a big party. And I get there and like, oh man, how come you're not on the album? People were asking me. I'm like, I didn't even know there was an album. I didn't know what
Classic. Classic
soundtrack
showbiz
album. Which I hadn't mentioned, but I did have two of my songs from the Dow of Steve were actually on the soundtrack album. But anyway, which it didn't sell any copies, so whatever. But
yeah,
well,
man, it's the craziness of the business.
If the main songs on the soundtrack album were by me, then it's not going to sell too many. But, I mean, there were some other songs, but they weren't like unique to that movie. They had the Lemonheads and some other things. But anyway, for this thing, there people at the American Splendor party, they're saying like, well, how come you're not on the album?
You're like, I don't know.
Like, oh, well, and I see they were giving away the album. And I'm like, and then people were, well, these are just songs that Harvey liked.
I see.
Not that he put together the album, but that's the way they're like, well, these are the songs, because he was a jazz critic. And these are things that, are
that he felt
whatever.
Representative of, what he was into.
I mean, look, I don't even remember if that's true. Like, were the Pretenders not on there? There were other rock songs in the movie. Not that my songs are rock songs, but I mean, just like there were other songs, and I don't remember if they were in the movie on the soundtrack album or not. But regardless, then I was talking to this guy who was putting together the DVD, and he was looking for extras, and he was like, oh, there's a whole song. There's really, there's more than this just in the movie. I'm like, yeah,
that's a whole song.
Oh well,
man.
we could use that. And then so they took my song, used it as an extra. They had no video of it, so they just used a still picture of from the movie of like a record player.
Of a record player. That's great.
But I got $5,000.
Hey,
that,
man.
Which is more than I got for the movie, and I'm sure it would have been more than I would have gotten from the album too.
Probably so. So it worked out on the DVD side. Yes. Yeah, never discount those DVD extras. So we're talking about film, but I just wanted to switch gears a little bit from the musical side of film to sort of touch a little bit on your parallel career as a film sound editor. Now you'd mentioned that before. Now you've in that role you've sort of worked on also some pretty amazing Academy Award-winning films like Chicago and Ron Howard's A Beautiful Mind. Can you tell us a little bit about your film sound editing work and what it's like to sort of contribute to films of that caliber?
Yeah, well, when I got out of film school and I wanted to get into editing, aside from writing, I was into editing.
Mm-hmm.
So the first job I got was just some super low budget thing. I don't even remember what it was. I mean, of course, it's decades ago.
No, when you say editing, you mean film editing, picture and sound.
Yeah, I mean the picture side of it, So the first job I had was like an assistant. I got into assistant. It was like such a low budget thing. I think I was making $250 a week or nothing. And initially, first I was just making my car fare, but then somebody left and I replaced it. Yeah. Then I met someone, and it's crazy because I had someone I had met at a party, and is still my friend, although I don't really see him much anymore. But I met somebody at a party, and he eventually got me work as an assistant editor on these Orville Redenbacher commercials.
Cool.
In the late '80s,
right? Sure.
And then
I remember him.
I worked.
You're watching QPTV Daily Social Live. QPTV.org's live daily show. I'm your host for today, James. Let's get started. Here's an update on COVID-19 in Queens. Actually, let's jump ahead to that. Here's a clip about masks from the mayor's office this morning.
We know that even as the vaccine is here, that the need to keep wearing the masks is paramount, crucial. It's amazing how, of all the things that we've learned in this crisis, maybe the most profound is the power of a mask. You know, even one of these paper masks makes a huge difference, but what we're saying today is time to double up. 2 masks are better than 1. Make it a double. So this is what more and more the science is telling us, more protection from 2 masks. A Department of Health wants to educate New Yorkers on this. This is based on CDC guidance. And what's clear is masks have been a big part of what's protected us. 2 are better than 1. Here with all of the expertise to back up that statement. And welcome back in person, our health commissioner, strong and healthy, Dr. Dave Choksi.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, and I'm really glad to be back and full steam ahead for our important work to keep New Yorkers safe and healthy, so thank you. For months, face coverings have been an indispensable tool to shield yourself from COVID. Masks are now a part of our daily lives and help us safely face the world. We see everyday New Yorkers wearing them in grocery stores, on the subway, at home, in schools, and in our houses of worship. This is all to keep one another safe. Today, as the mayor said, the health department is updating our guidance on face coverings, following recently announced guidance from the CDC as well. I want to be very clear. The single most important thing remains wearing a face covering consistently and properly, so that it covers both your nose and your mouth, and you wear it both indoors and outdoors. Here are some other important recommendations that are part of our guidance. First, tight makes right. Make sure the face covering fits snugly against the sides of the face without slipping. A snug fit will prevent you from breathing in or breathing out air droplets that may contain the virus. So when you're choosing a specific mask, look for features that keep the face covering tight. For example, nose wires, tightly woven fabric, and face masks with fitters or braces. If it helps, you can knot the ear loops or fold and tuck unneeded material under the mask to prevent air from getting in and also from escaping. I also do want to clarify that we do not recommend face coverings with an exhalation valve, because these masks allow air to escape when you're breathing out. Second, 2 is better than 1. Using 2 masks is more effective at stopping the spread of the virus. To double mask, use a cloth face covering over a disposable mask, not 2 disposable masks. 2 of the disposable masks will not improve fit. Allow me to demonstrate with my own mask. This is the disposable mask. And this is my cloth face covering. Adjust it so that it's fully covering your nose and mouth, and so that you have this nose piece pressed against the bridge of your nose to ensure a snug fit. Third, for those who are 65 or older and people with underlying medical conditions such as diabetes, obesity, or hypertension, consider using a higher grade mask like a KN95. This also applies to household members and caregivers of people who are sick. Make sure not to confuse KN95s with N95s. Again, this is a KN95 mask. You can tell by its distinctive appearance. It has this metal strip against the nose bridge, and it has ear loops as well. And this is the N95 mask. Usually, it has two of these bands that go against the back of the head. It also does have this nose strip, and it's made of a slightly thicker material as well. N95s should still be used in healthcare settings. Fourth, wear your face covering at home if you live with someone who tested positive for COVID-19 or were recently exposed to someone with the virus. Regardless of the mask you choose, I want to emphasize that we need to continue to follow the public health precautions we know work.
The recommendation is to wear two masks, a cloth mask and the disposable mask underneath. Let's take a look now at this information from covidactnow.org. Where we see Queens County is at a high level. The high rate of daily new cases. And the infection rate, 0.94. COVID is still spreading, but slowly. Also, vaccinations are now available to all New Yorkers with underlying conditions including cancer, heart disease, diabetes, pregnancy, immunocompromised conditions like HIV, etc. If you have any of these underlying conditions, you're not qualified for the vaccine. You can find out where to get vaccinations in Queens. Use nyc.gov's COVID-19 Vaccine Finder. Visit vaccinefinder.nyc.gov. Also, we have a ton of resources, information, links, and videos on COVID-19, and especially COVID-19 in Queens. QPTV's own Queens Conversations and Queens Perspectives has an ongoing series of episodes focusing on COVID-19 in Queens. Go to qptv.org to check it all out. From the National Weather Service, winter weather advisory remains in effect until 7 p.m. Friday. Snowfall accumulations of up to 3 to 5 inches are expected today, with total snowfall accumulations of 4 to 8 inches by the end of event on Friday. Plan on slippery road conditions. The hazardous conditions could impact the morning or evening commute. Slow down and use caution when traveling. Let's take a look at a few of the traffic cams to see what it looks like out there. It's pretty wet. Again, please be careful out there. Here's an update on the weather. This afternoon, snow and sleet, high near 29. Wind chill varies between 15 and 20. Northeast wind around 14 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 100%. Total daytime snow and sleet accumulation of 4 to 6 inches possible. Tonight, snow. Temperature rising to around 30 by 5 a.m. Wind chill values between 15 and 20. Northeast wind around 13 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 80%. New snow accumulation of 1 to 2 inches is possible. And on Friday, snow mainly before 4 p.m., high near 34. Wind chill values between 20 and 25. Northeast wind 9 to 13 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 80%. New snow accumulation of around an inch possible. This episode of Queens Creative spotlights the talented singer-songwriter, film composer, film sound editor, and Forest Hills, Queens resident, Eaton Mirsky. In addition to the 7 album releases credited Mr. Mirsky as an artist, Eaton has also written music for a number of critically acclaimed and award-winning films such as Happiness, American Splendor, Palindromes, and The Tao of Steve. And if that wasn't enough, in addition to his musical work, Mr. Mirsky is also a skilled film sound editor, having lent his talents to several Academy Award-winning motion pictures, including Chicago and Ron Howard's A Beautiful Mind. Listen as Eaton and Queen's creative host Mark Pacino discuss Eaton's music, his collaborative relationship with renowned filmmaker Todd Solondz, what it was like to have one of his songs sung by REM Michael Stipe, and much more. Then be sure to stick around after the interview as Eaton treats listeners to a remote live performance direct from his home in NYC. Queens Creative can be heard here at qptv.org and via all major podcast platforms. And if you enjoy the show, please check out past episodes and subscribe to QC wherever you get your pods.
Ultimately, Michael Stipe, lead singer of arguably one of the most famous rock bands, REM, sang the film's title track, right? So I'll just stop you right there and ask you, how does it feel to have the superstar lead singer of a huge rock band sing one of your songs, in a movie, no less? What does that feel like?
It was crazy at the time. I mean, it was really an amazing thing at the time. And especially I was involved in the recording of it, and I didn't even know what I was doing too much.
Really?
Yeah, I was supervising the recording of the track, and then we sent it to him, and he sent it back. But, so I wish I knew, if something like that happened now, I would be more prepared to do it. But,
right. Maybe it was better. Maybe it was better.
It came out fine. Soon when the weather gets cold and you're delicate.
QPTV Radio is on the air, providing community-centered programming from Queens Public Television in New York City. QPTV Radio offers an interesting and eclectic mix of unique content, from QPTV's original podcasts to audio versions of our award-winning television programs. Listen to QPTV Radio at qptv.org, the Live 365 app on your mobile device, and you can listen to QPTV Radio on the go.
Back in November, QPTV won 7 Nor'easter Awards at the 2020 Northeast Regional Alliance for Community Media Conference. Around Queens, helping incarcerated moms, won first place in the profile talk show category. Sister Tessa Fitzgerald, the executive director of Our Children, became a foster parent in 1986 to 8 children of incarcerated mothers at the convent where she lived. That set the beginning of her work with families impacted by incarceration. In 1992, she founded Our Children as a nonprofit. Excuse me. She founded Our Children as a nonprofit organization to offer supportive services to other children of incarcerated mothers and the mothers themselves. Before that, she was responsible for New York State curriculum oversight for Catholic elementary schools for the Diocese of Brooklyn, and both a school principal and teacher at various Catholic elementary schools. In addition to being an educator, she's a certified foster care trainer. Sister Tessa has been named a CNN Hero in 2012, a White House Champion of Change 2013, the 2014 winner of the Opus Prize, and in 2015 she was awarded the Cross Pro Ecclesia et Pontifex. In 2017, she was named to the Irish American Hall of Fame.
I couldn't imagine what would happen to a child when a mother is taken out of that family for whatever reason, and some of it, the stories were horrifying. You know, children would be coming home from school, their mother would not be there, or they would be in the apartment when the police would come and the mother would be extracted from the apartment. And that really tugged at my heart, that I said, let me do something that would, you know, help that cause. But then to engage the women in their stories, I would be like, my goodness, that could be, you could be my niece. I began to see that the mothers had the same hopes and dreams of any mother, that they wanted the best for their children. They knew that their choice had really ruined their children's lives temporarily, and they wanted to make it right, that they couldn't do that without support.
I had my twin daughters, who are now 9 years old, and things didn't work out with their father, so I had moved in with my parents, and I was just kind of trying to use any means possible to make as much money as possible to do this on my own. So I ended up selling drugs, and I ended up making counterfeit money. So I ended up getting incarcerated when I was 19 weeks pregnant with the son that I have now.
Who am I? Well, I'm a sister of St. Joseph, proudly, and I'm part of a wonderful family called the Fitzgeralds. So my life is divided between those two wonderful communities. You know, life doesn't happen in this office, it happens out there. So I have to really be a part of that community in whatever way I can be every day.
I was in the county jail for 3 months, and from there I went to Bedford Hills, where I was in general population for about a month, and then I got put up into the nursery, where I was there for about 2 weeks before I had my son. So at least I got to get comfortable to it. I got to meet Sister Tisa. I got to see that, well, okay, this isn't as scary as I thought it was going to be, because here's people that actually care and who, you know, see that people can make mistakes but could come back from it and really just want to help.
How you feeling? Good, yeah, you look good. I'm supposed to go over there today to do a final walkthrough. Okay. You didn't talk to Melissa, did you at all? No.
I'm going to meet her tomorrow.
Oh, all right,
Yeah,
okay.
Okay.
Good, thank you. That was easy. All right, good, thanks.
Is this then?
2 things done. So we have 18 beautiful apartments here for all formerly incarcerated mothers and their children, women who have been in our communal homes. Nobody came here directly from prison. They already had the life experience and training of communal living to get the skills to move into this and make this work.
As 10, she's having a boy, so they sent some boy stuff, and then the rest of it was like, I mean, it's a scary thing being locked up when you're pregnant. So I found out that I was eligible for the work release program. By doing that, I was to move to Long Island City into one of the Our Children homes where I could still keep my son and work, and I only had to go check in at the prison twice a week. And Sister Tisa introduced me to Joanna, who runs the Our Working Woman program, and she saw something inside of me and immediately hired me to be the office assistant there. So since then I've been working there. My plans were to go back to Syracuse where my daughters are, but because I believe so much in this program and just love to sit by and watch everything that Sister Tisa does for everybody, I've decided to stay here and in hopes to get my own apartment through Our Children, which should be happening soon, hopefully. And then at that point, I'll move my daughters here.
We built this building, and 6 years ago, through the help of many community-based organizations at the city and state level, but also the local community was very supportive of it. And that's a hard thing when you say to the community board, we're going to build 18 permanent apartments for formerly incarcerated women. And you went to the community board, and the community board unanimously said, go for it. Then you know you've really made a difference in this community.
So here in Teen Program, we do a lot of different things. Right now, we're working on healthy relationships with our teachers, with our peers, in our community, with our parents. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Our Children. I'm an original mom here of Our Children. I had my daughter when I was incarcerated. From the moment I got to Our Children, I knew in my soul that this was where I was meant to be. And I guess Sister Tisa kind of saw that in me way back when, and I was hired on staff. But the opportunity to know all the negatives in that world and be able to make positive differeces, to be able to do that on a daily basis humbles me. I could never give back to Our Children, Paul.
God, oh, you do give back.
I love you.
She's real. She's the real deal. She's why we do what we do. Our recidivism rate is like 2%, whereas you look at 30, 40% in terms of the state or the nation. These walls are filled with success stories, and that's the nice thing about it, that everyone is a success in her own way. This is our one of our thrift shops, and we will be developing that clothes cleaners over here will be coming the second site here. A wonderful thrift shop. Why is it wonderful?
So much, because the community, they come and and we try to help them, and they're grateful for that.
Yeah, that's it. Good, good. Come on up here with your new look. Now, come on up. Yeah, hi, how are you? How you doing? Good to see you.
How you feeling?
Okay, good.
You know, I'm moving on the 28th first.
You're moving where?
To my mother.
I know, okay, and that's it. One of our new residents here. What are you doing here? What are you
Working.
Working?
Yeah.
All right, doing your, that's it, doing your internship
Yes.
here. All right, good. Helping this woman?
Yes.
Yeah, right, that's
I
it.
love her.
People often say, what's the secret of your success? And it's really not our success, it's the success of the women in really buying into a different way of living. It's not easy. They have to work hard. They have to really be committed to rebuilding their own life and a life bonding with their children. But the staff is there to do it, and their peers are there to do it. And that's the difference. They go home at night to a nice communal setting where they have shared meals together. They have to share the cooking and the cleaning. They don't do it alone. And that's really the secret.
When you're incarcerated, and from the officers, from everybody from that standpoint, it's just like they make you feel like you are your crime and like you can never do any better. And then you have somebody like Sister Tisa that doesn't see you for that. They see you for what's on the inside and your doors are open to so many possibilities, and it actually makes you thrive as a person and be successful in life because you know that somebody is actually there, you know, pushing you and patting you on the back and letting you know that everything that you're doing is going to be okay.
Okay, and again, this afternoon the food pantry is open from 3 to 5, so the lineup will be starting shortly, but come in, okay. Hello, hi everybody, hi. Welcome to the best food pantry in Queens, right?
With their help.
As you see, we get, you know, things from City Harvest on delivery days also, you know, breads and all kinds of things. You know, and again, all of these places are run by our women. Like Nina is one of my clients, Kelly, Giamara, you met in the set. It's all the women who are running these programs are our former clients. Yeah, so they have because they have the heart then to really do it And it's more than a job for them. And then again, they serve as a real role model for women coming out. If you can do this, you were where I was once, and with hard work and support, your life can be changed. All right, there are a lot of women who are not here now. They're out in different areas of internships. We try to encourage businesses in the neighborhood to give our women the opportunity to have an internship with them. So that's really, they learn the workaday world, and then they come back here to kind of debrief and get their marching orders for the next day. So that's what happens here.
Our main focus is we want to take women that are affected by the criminal justice system and give them whatever lessons, workshops, training, certifications, schooling that they need to have a successful career. And it's not about just getting a job, but it's also about how to keep it as well, and communication and team building, and just coming out of your shell and being able to talk like this, I guess. So I would say moving forward, my kids, they know exactly what happened. I've never kept anything from them, because the truth is they're gonna find out. And I want them to always trust me, to be able to come to me with anything. In order to do that, I have to be honest with them too. And my son's too little to know right now, but he'll grow up knowing what happened, so that hopefully his life can be different than mine.
We have one little girl here whose mother's still in prison. She was in the prison nursery and she had to come home. Her time was up. She had no family to come to, so one of our teachers is raising her until so when she comes home, she'll be coming out to her own family, the child's family, which is really nice. It's good. Yeah, here she is. Here she is. Chelsea. That's Chelsea.
How are you? You feeling better? Are you feeling better? Yes, you are. You eating carrots? Oh, wow.
We're all over social media, folks. QPTV, Daily Social Live. We want to make it very easy for you to find us. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. Go to qptv.org. You can click directly there on the top of the page to go to any of those. You can also email us directly at media@qptv.org. Make sure you have those channels set. Set it to your favorites. There's all these apps and things now. I'm pretty sure you can program these channels as your favorites. Get to it. And if you ever need reference to what specific channel is what, there's a chart, but always go to qptv.org to find out. Oh, let's clear that up. Okay. QPTV offers Queens-based not-for-profit 501c3 organizations a free outlet to provide the community with public service announcements highlighting. Public service announcements are produced as 30 or 60-second productions. The promos are taped at QPTV studio, location, or via Zoom, edited, and the final product is cablecast throughout the day with events, news, and useful information. Go to qptv.org/PSA for more information and to watch any of our PSAs anytime. February is Black History Month. We have live shows and programs you can watch anytime on QPTV.org. We'll be bringing you Black History Month from a Queens perspective all February. Visit QPTV.org/Black History today for more.
The National Museum of African American History and Culture. America is a constant work in progress, that each successive generation can look upon our imperfections and decide that it is within our collective power to align this nation with the high ideals of our founding. That's what you'll see inside. You'll see it in the shackles of an enslaved child and in the hope of Harriet Tubman's gospel hymnal. You'll see it in the tragedy of Emmett Till's coffin and the triumph of a Tuskegee airplane. You'll see it in the shadow of Prison Guard Tower and in the defiance of Jesse Owens' cleats and the American pride of Colin Powell's uniform. The story of King, who summoned us all toward the mountaintop.
On today's Behind the Conversations, Queen's Conversations is a live talk show featuring QPTV's award-winning production and hosting team, Lucia Dragos, Norrin Omar, and John Collins, having discussions with a diverse spectrum of Queens residents and leaders. Every topic is incredibly relevant, and every discussion is enlightening. On today's Queen's Conversations, we have been struggling against the coronavirus for over a year now. The necessary procedures we had to adapt to protect ourselves created significant and sometimes undesirable changes in our society and our economy. The impact of the virus on the entertainment industry has been drastic. Performing arts have been deprived of their usual audiences. How have creative artists responded? For this episode, the Queen's creative team spoke with several of them to hear about the pandemic's effect on their work and lives. Be sure to watch this episode of Queen's Conversations. You can find it on our website, qptv.org. You can also go to facebook.com/Queens Public Television to find the latest episode in the Queen's Conversation series, and you can watch all the episodes there as well. Here's a preview.
My name is Philip Capadora, and I'm the founder and president of the Astoria Filmmakers Club. And we are a nonprofit public charity filmmaking organization that actually focuses on bringing filmmakers together so that they can collaborate independently throughout New York City on their own projects. And we started out as just a simple networking table conversation every Wednesday night type of a meetup, and slowly but surely over 100 people showed up before New Year's of 2020, and then we boomed. A lot of people wanted to collaborate. They wanted to actually take this and grow it into something more, and I thought it was a great idea. So we did. We became a nonprofit in February, right before the pandemic, and of course, the pandemic slowed everybody down. But with a lot of grind and a fantastic podcast, we persevered, and by September, we became a 501c3.
Eitan.
Thank you.
My name is Eitan Mirsky, and I'm a singer and songwriter. And I'm probably best known for the songs that I did for the film Happiness, directed by Todd Solondz, American Splendor, which was nominated for a Best Screenplay Oscar, and The Tao of Steve, in which I had 3 songs in there. And I've had songs in some other films. And then I do my own music. I'm working on my 8th album right now.
Amazing. Ariel, can you please tell us about yourself?
Nora, hi everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Ariel Polanco, and I'm a dancer and stage actor. I perform with a handful of companies in the city. Visi Dance Theater is one of them, who just came off a tour early January last year. I also perform with the Russian Arts Theater and Studio, as well as Blessed Unrest. And yeah, that's what I've done so far.
Great. Adrian? You're muted.
Yes.
Let's take a look at what's happening out in social media with the Daily Social. Here's a tweet about today. Due to the winter storm, New York Health and Hospitals tweeting COVID mobile testing and self-testing sites will be closed. Here's another one from New York Health and Hospitals, Gotham Health. Again, reminding people to wear masks. And here we have an update from the snowfall event. A tweet from the Louis Armstrong House. NYC votes on Instagram. It's a sample ballot with a ranked choice voting. And Queens Theater in the Park. Queens Theater, rather. Throwback Thursday post. It looks like it could be today. It's been an interesting winter. We'll be back. Remember to send us your questions, your comments, anything. As long, like I said yesterday, as long as it's about Queens or QPTV or community media or New York City or anything like that. Outside of that, we'll get to you another time. We want questions and comments we can address on this show. We're just starting it out, but we want to make it very interactive in the future. Use hashtags Daily Social, hashtag QPTV if you want to get our attention. We'll put up your post and we'll see if we can get you on the show. And again, here's what's coming up tomorrow and beyond. We'll have COVID updates. We'll see what it's like out there in the storm. See how cleared up it is and see what the future of the weekend looks like. We'll have more on Black History Month. We'll have more behind the conversations. You really have to check out that show. It was an amazing show today, and every week they're on. It's pretty compelling. That's my opinion, but you know. And you also want to check out QPTV's original podcast. You saw a preview earlier before. Queens Creative. We have the community media podcast from QPTV. And in the future, next week, we're going to have a lot more. We're building up the show as we go along. But we hope you stick with us, because it's going to be a busy year, whether we're inside the house or out. You're going to need to know what's going on QPTV and what's going on in your neighborhood. You don't want to miss any of it. Follow, like, subscribe, watch, learn, create. This is QPTV Daily Social Live. We'll be right back. Again, thanks for tuning in to Daily Social Live on QPTV.org. We'll be back again with more on what you should know from Queens Public Television. We can't do this without you. In fact, we're here for you. We want you to become a part of our real life social network. Go to QPTV.org to find out how to watch, learn, and create with QPTV. Tell your friends about us. Share and subscribe. Stay safe and be well. Take care.